All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Expert Insights, where experts in customer communications share their thoughts about industry trends and where things are going. Today, I'm joined by Kemal Carr, the president of Madison Advisors, and Richard Huff, Madison's senior analyst. And they have insights drawn from a rich history in the CCM space, rooted in print, but of course, evolving to help clients navigate amidst today's rapidly changing, digitizing environment. So welcome to you both.
Thank you. Morning.
Thanks, Sharon.
So I'm keen to hear your perspective. That's, I'm sure, unique to you because I know that you've been in this space for quite some time. So Kemal, why don't you start by giving us some context about your company's journey, how it started, grew, and then who you serve today?
Sure, thanks, Sharon. We started 25 years ago this September, and really our focus was helping firms with their customer communication. When we started, the only channel available was print. Now we've spent a lot more time on e-delivery and electronic channels, but we look at our customer segments in three specific areas. One is enterprise folks, a lot of the big firms that have a lot of customers, so large banks, large insurance firms, financial service firms, healthcare. And then the other segment, and they chew up a lot of paper and send a lot of mail. And then the folks that do that internally, we work with to help them with output strategies. The folks that decide to outsource that work find print service providers that we work with are another segment of ours. So we help to marry those print service providers with enterprise clients who need their services. And then the third segment is all the technology firms to support that process. So both hardware and software like yours. Rich spends a lot of time researching those technologies to understand what's a good fit for the client requirements, which I think is a key differentiator in what we do.
Okay. And I know, having spoken to you about this, that you do have a unique way of understanding your client's business and then helping them map out those requirements. Maybe you can tell us a bit more about this approach and how you kind of came to it.
Sure. We have a process we've standardized over those 25 years where we capture requirements. We have a unique process. We go in and capture requirements from the line of business, what their communication needs are. And then again, through another process we've developed over the 25 years, we have a good way of assessing their current internal operations if they have one. We use that same process to evaluate the print service providers. We're looking at those operations through the same lens, capturing the same data and then scoring that data. So we have a very good way of comparing in-house versus out-of-house. And then using the requirements and the assessments we've done, we can quickly map good fits for the enterprise folks who want to move this work out-of-house. We can help them develop we call a target operating model. And then the partner selection might be a partner for outsourcing, or it might be they need technology. They're pretty good in print and mail in-house, but they need some new technology. Might be workflow, might be composition, might be print management. Because of Rich's research, the research we do in those technologies, we have a deep understanding of those services or of those technologies. We can quickly map those requirements to those capabilities and help them develop a roadmap to getting from where they are today to where they want to be in that target operating model.
Mm-hmm. And I know we talked earlier about print and how you were commenting about how it's really not going away. Things are changing, but it's kind of around for the long haul. Maybe you could comment on that a little bit, and as well, you were talking about how there's been some breaches and how you've helped clients respond to those breaches in terms of not having all their eggs in one basket.
Certainly. So what we found is, again, when we started, print was the only channel. Now we've seen that change over time. We started actually capturing and researching what we called print suppression at the time in 2008, when people started, to really move away from paper to electronic. And that's really when things started to take off. Now it's been leveled off over time. I think the push now is for all digital channels, and there's a digital first perspective when people look and build out their strategies. The challenge can be that if you move to a digital world without the right strategy, you end up bolting on bad solutions on a system that won't support that. We've seen now with some of the recent security cyber breaches in the market, there's an anxiety over moving work out of house. So we've seen a lot of firms, they want to maintain the composition and systems work in-house, and then just send print-ready files to a service provider, such that if that service provider is breached or has a DR event, they can redirect those files to another provider.
Okay, and that's a model that you're seeing quite a bit.
Yeah, I would say in the last year we've had several inquiries around having firms having two print service providers as a backup, not so much for a physical DR, but for the cyber DR we've seen in the market here the last year or so. A lot of anxiety over that.
Okay. So thanks for telling us about kind of what you're seeing in the industry and how you help them with that operating plan, get a plan in place. And Richard, I know in terms of the technology and its application and where it's going, you've got a deep knowledge of that. Maybe you could build on this conversation in terms of, if you had to say to clients, here's the one thing, kind of the elephant in the room that you really need to focus on today, what would that be?
Absolutely. Thank you. In today's market, I think what businesses need to focus on is their customers' experience in dealing with their organization. Now more than ever, it's so easy to move away from a provider that you've been with, even banking and insurance. It's quick to find someone new and just switch. So, and the cost of getting a new customer is so high compared to the cost of just maintaining a customer that you already have. You need to make sure that customer experience is as seamless as possible. And right now, the driver for that is AI. We see artificial intelligence being used in software systems all across the board. And especially with customer communications, the AI helps make the communications much more readable. It can put it into the language that the customer wants. It can direct it to the output channel that the customer wants. It does this very quickly. With all the capabilities that AI provides, it's vital that organizations take the opportunity now to reevaluate and improve the customer experience wherever they can.
Okay, right. And I know in terms of next steps regarding AI, I know you have done an excellent research report recently on AI augmented CCM.
Earlier this year, we conducted research, which is how we typically work. We reach out to the vendors in a particular technology segment and invite them to participate in a research report that we do. So we collected a lot of data from a number of vendors whose next generation CCM platforms incorporate AI and leverage that technology to allow their customers to create highly personalized customer communications. So our report, which is AI augmented CCM solutions, was published earlier this year, and it's available. You can check it out at our website.
Right, and I know MHC is highlighted in that, and we work together with you on that. And I just want to compliment you on it. It's got some really great insights on kind of where things are going, and so in terms of next steps, I mean, obviously, some of the information, the answer to this question is in that report. But maybe you can just summarize for us. What advice would you give to leaders, regarding AI augmented CCM?
Business leaders need to take a good look at both their internal processes as well as the customer communications processes and find ways to streamline those. and wherever possible, take advantage of the AI technology to do so.
Mhm. And Kemal, what about you in terms of next steps and advice that you would give to business leaders today? How would you respond to that?
Well, we still see a lot of what I would consider cobbled together solutions where there's still a fair amount of legacy solutions, especially around some of the admin systems, right? So people have old insurance processing, claims processing systems, and they just want to cobble some kind of e-delivery solution on the back end. And that works in very few cases. Really you have to come in, where we come in and do a broader view of what their desires are, or where they want to get to their desired state. And then look at the technology they have, look at the technology like Rich is reviewing the market, and we can make a plan for best fit there. Sometimes they have to change some things in their systems, and that's the hardest thing. I was having a conversation with another analyst in the market, and customer preference now is a hot buzzword, using customer preference with AI to deliver a better customer experience. But so many firms that go in don't have good customer preference data, or they don't have customer preference systems at all. So looking at from a holistic perspective, what their ultimate goal is can be the advantage to getting to a solution that meets all their needs and requirements.
So it's not just modernizing their data and their workflows, it's looking at how they can modernize and then get AI ready, would you
Yes.
say?
I think a good example we use, if you look at the physical manufacturing process, right? You can't optimize any one process in that workflow, because you could optimize printing, but then you've sub-optimized the entire process because you've got all the print done, but then it sits and waits for an inserter, in the physical world. So you gotta have to look at the whole process together if you're gonna look at optimization as a whole.
Okay, well, thank you both, Kemal and Richard, for your expert insights today. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. I want to encourage listeners to reach out to any one of us here on LinkedIn. So, you can continue this conversation with us about having a plan, making your communication workflows and data AI ready and future ready. So thank you both again. And I wish you all a great day.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us, Sharon.
Okay,
Thank
thanks.
you.